and welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday. Today is Monday, December 15th. We are halfway through the month of December, and we are so close to the end of 2025. We might ask, where did the year go? But if we have set goals, we know where the year went because we would be either on target where our goals are, or if we trip up a little bit, we would pivot and roll again. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope today was productive for those who worked. For those who are on vacation, I hope you had a wonderful and ecstatic day. Today, we continue on abundance in love, and we are looking at how we show up each day as creatures of love, as humanity who was created in love, and how do we show love with our fellow human, how we show love with our families, how we show love to our friends, how we show love, how we give love, and how we receive love. You can come on the meeting platform and just talk because we are trying to facilitate everyone in sharing how did you enjoy 2025 and what is it you're looking forward to for 2026? And are you setting goals? And what are some of the goals that you set? And what are some of the things you achieve for 2025? And how will it enhance going forward in 2026? This evening, there are a few things I just want to share with you. First, I'm looking at gratitude. For the entire year, we've been talking about abundance in love. And on many of the podcasts, you've always heard me talk about a gratitude journal or just write each day one thing that you're grateful for. And when we start our day with gratitude, no matter the challenges that come our way, we are able to pivot. We're able to look and realize that it is not all challenges, but we have something to look forward to. And we also are looking at the day does not have to end with us feeling sad or unaccomplished because we have set the pace for our day. So no matter the challenges that we go through, we know because we started it with gratitude, we can continue and knowing that everything there's a season. You might know that one of my favorite Bible verses, it's Ecclesiastes, I think it's Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. It said, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the heaven. So if you went through a whole heap of challenges 2023, 2025, and even if you have gone through challenges today, just know that everything is a season. So we are now in the season of fall, although it is very cold because winter starts, I think, is the 21st. So although we are now in the season of autumn or fall, it is very cold. But we know that this cold will not stay for the entire year. Next year, it won't stay. So let's work through the season. Some people, this is a wonderful season for them, especially when it snows. They can go to the mountain and they can ski. The snow blowers, who this is their major income earner, they are ecstatic when it snows because this is when they earn a lot more money. So the seasons are for everyone, and it depends on your line of work. You will love it. It depends on your career path. You will love it. It depends on your extracurricular activities. If you're a skier, you will love it. If you like seeing snow on the trees, you'll take pictures, you will love it. So every season there is something for everyone. Well, just as how the seasons of the year, the seasons we go through seasons in our life. Spring, when young and budding and excited, and there's nothing off limits. You can go for many hours, or you can go without sleep for a few hours when you're in your springtime, though that's not good. But when you're in springtime, you just get up and go. Summer, it's when most times summer is when things we reap, right? And so there's harvest. Uh, you're in the prime of your career, you're earning a lot of money, stuff like that. And you're setting aside stuff, as mommy would say, for rainy day. You are banking, you are investing, you are doing all different things because you are aware that everything there's a season. Fall is when, if you look outside, you see the trees, there are no leaves on it. I remembered when I just came to the US, I came in the just before spring when it was winter was just going away. And all of these trees, they just look like bramble. We call them in Jamaica. There are no leaves on it. They look just dead. Now, looking at those trees, we would think that there's no life in it, but they're hibernating. So when spring comes, oh my goodness, you see the buds, you see, it's so beautiful. We call it the miracle of spring. So we have spring, we have summer, we have fall, and then we have winter. Now, winter is when things just look dormant, things look, you know, it look bleak, it gets dark early. And so in the winter of our life, we go through challenges. You might have a death, you might have a loss of a job, you might have a loss of different things, but challenges come, or winter is the time when it's not seemingly not fruitful, but every season has its positive and every season has its negative, if you want to look at it that way. But we go through season. So if you think you're stuck in winter, just so you know, spring is coming. If you think that I don't like summer, fall is coming. So wherever you are, I heard of a saying, bloom where you're planted. And no matter what season you're in, you can be fruitful if you desire to. That is the reason the mindset is so important. When you have a positive mindset, you would move forward. And if I might borrow what the verse of scripture that talks about when the Lord says, it is with the mind that you serve God. It also said, whatever a man thinketh, so is he. So the mind is so important. That's where thoughts conceptualize, and whatever we think about, that's what we move after. Whatever we are consumed with, that's what we move after. So as we look forward to 2026, the way I look at years, I look at them as days. So if we are not careful, We will go through just as mundane as we go through 2025. So it's important that we make a conscious effort, be aware of each day. What am I doing today? That's why it is so important to set goals. So another year is coming, but we don't just jump into the year like that and expect things to happen. Let's set goals. Now, bear in mind that although we set goals, there are things that are outside of our control, outside of what we can control, and therefore we may sometimes get blindsided. However, when we set goals, it is easier for us to pivot, for us to straighten us, for us to balance, because we have already set goals. So let's look at setting goals. We have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. In order to accomplish anything, or in order to be on target, it's so important to, of course, you set your long-term goals, but you also have timeline for these goals. So although you may have a long-term goal, say a 1 year, or let's say a 3-year goal, you start going back, you may have, say, 1 year. What do I accomplish within 1 year? What do I accomplish within 6 months? What do I accomplish within 3 months? And then a week, and then the days, and then how do I allocate my hours? Is it productive? Do I allow time for relaxation? Do I allow time to take care of me, the me time? Do I have that in the mix? Or am I just jumping from one thing to the other, or jumping from task to task? Is there a goal set that there's a time to just relax? There's a time to get things done. If we want to be productive, if we want to be fruitful, because remember, God creates us to operate in the era of gifting. And so, in order for us to do that, we need to set goals, we need to prioritize. And therefore, that's how we will live and give ourselves and be good steward for who we were created to be. I would love for you to share with me your take on this. For it doesn't have to be what I'm talking about, but what are you looking forward to in 2026? And how did you see 2025? What happened for you in 2025? And what are you looking forward to in 2026? What can you share about goal setting? What can you help our viewers with about goal setting that can help them go through 2026? You can raise your hand, or you can put information in the chat, those that are on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you want to jump on to the platform, you just go back to the description that's in YouTube, and you'll see the meeting link, so you can jump on and you can share with us. We would be happy to hear from you. Going back to what we are, and going back to reminding us that we live in seasons. I remembered my mother, she always shares with us that don't sit and mope about something that is done. She always said, "Why you cry over the spilt milk? It's on the ground. It's in the dirt. Can you lick it up?" No. But she always helped us with scenarios in order for us to move on as children. Although for most of my childhood life, I was living with my uncle, but I can remember up to 9 years old, They're little nuggets that she taught us, and it helps us to go through the little challenges. And even as an adult, I remember some of those little things. She always say, little, if you do something and you did not get through it, doesn't mean that you're dumb. Just look at it. There may be another way you can do it, or seek help. Now, why am I saying this? We are preparing for another year. We're preparing for another day. So if you get stuck at something, and as we know, technology is all over the place. There are resources that are available in every aspect. So it is important that we set goals so we are able to move from point A to point B. And when we set goals, we will have there are resources that can help us to set goals. You have Chat GPT. You can prompt it in giving it, statements. I would like to set goals to pass an exam, put whatever exam it is, and you will get the breakdown of timeline and everything. And so there are resources available. So we should not feel inadequate. And if you're not privy to Chat GPT, there are communities that are available. There are people that are available that will give you a helping hand to go through what you're going through. So don't think that you're too old, that you can't get out of the rut where you are. You want to do something, you want to learn a skill. You're never too old. The only time learning ends is when you die. So no matter where you are, you can still learn something. You can still be of benefit to someone. You can give of your time, whatever small it is, and someone will be there to give you their time to help you, because we are in this together and we want to see you flourish. We want to see you in 2026, not just getting by. Sometimes we ask, how are people? You ask, how? Um, it is it is what it is. Nothing, or I'm just here, or I'm hanging on. And that's another thing my mother taught me. She said, if anything that hang will fall off. Those are just little nuggets, just little things that I grew up with, and it has helped me. How are you? You can say, I'm fine. But if you're going through something and it's someone that you could share with, you can share with. But don't go through stuff alone. You have confidence, you can find people to share with, to help you go through whatever you're going through, no matter how hard it is. You have your church community. You have some people don't have immediate family, but you have other communities that you can reach out to, that you can share with, and you can be you can become part of a community and share what you have, and they will also be there for you. As we come through the holiday season, as we're in the holiday season, we are aware that there's so many persons that are alone, and we want you to know that you don't need to stay alone. You don't need to be alone in this holiday season. Reach out to a community. Reach out to me. I can help you find a community to have some community events, or to just share. If you If you have no family, you can volunteer your time just to be around people. Now, we're talking about goal setting, but this is also part of goal setting. Be there for others, and others will be there for you. So, as we talk about setting goals, these community events is one of the aspect of setting goals should be in your whether short term, long term, midterm. What can I do to help community? What can I share to be a philanthropist? How can I assist someone in need? And this is something that as human, we are we were created with that empathy. We were created with that community spirit. And I know sometimes people would say, or I have heard people say, I'm not helping them because I always get burnt. But don't shut yourself off. Be there to help someone, and you will find fulfillment in just doing that. There's this lady that I was speaking to a couple of days ago, and she was sharing that every year she assists in soup kitchens, different soup kitchens. And she said, I just like to see when people they come on and they get something to eat and the smile on their faces. She just enjoyed doing that. Now, soup kitchen may not be your thing, whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about, whatever community activity that makes you feel good. If it's not a community activity, if you like to work with your hands, what is it can you do that you can help to help others? This is a part of goal setting. How can I use my talent, my gift to share with someone? One year while I was working at this bank in 14th Street, I just when I maybe about a year after I came to this country, I I was in the Union Square um train station, and for half an hour I was just standing, and I was entertained by so many different persons because they were using their gifts and talents to just do things around the train station. Now I was sharing with someone, and the person said to me, you see, you got your own Broadway show right there. Now, during this holiday season, there's so many persons who go back and forth using the MTA system, and you will see people all over the place just sharing their gifts free. So many of us are so busy, we're just running back and forth. Sometimes you wonder, do we ever stop? But sorry, but just stop for a little bit and the enjoy what's around you. Listen to what's going on while you're going from point A to point B to take your train. I know most of the time people are just in the nick of time, they have to run to catch their train. But if you can just slow down a little, get up a little earlier, so you are a little bit ahead of time, so you can take your time. My husband, he's not from the fast paced New York. Now, when we're walking, sometimes I forget that I'm not going to work. So I'm like, keep running. And he would say, Queen Miriam, remember, you're not going to work, and so you can. So As we go through each day for the rest of the year, slow down, slow down. Find the time, 15 minutes out of your day to just relax. Take a deep breath. I learned that when you incorporate these little spurts of time to just relax, take a deep breath, it helps your entire persona because we are always running and the stress of everything gets us into this frenzy. But when we just take a little time and relax, Dr. Paul, he taught us how to do these breaths. And James McNeil taught us how to do this meditation, easy meditation. So there are so many different ways you can do it. There's online, you have guided meditation, but of course, we're always warned, make sure it fits into your faith, make sure it fits into what you believe, because it's not everything that is good for you based on your faith. So whatever you need to do in order to get balance, in order to have a balanced day, not just running, and have in a frenzy. Just take a little time and relax. Relax. Now, we we, we always have something to do. I am not sure if anyone would like to say something. Or if you want to chime in, you can just raise your hand and I would be happy to hear what you have to say. As we get excited about so many different things that's going on, in this time of year, there are a lot of persons who are going to the mall, buying gifts and getting stuff to do gift exchange and parties and a lot of eating and drinking. But remember the very important thing, always, always make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you have me time. Make sure you rest. Make sure you take care of you. This is going to be a very short discourse this evening, and we just want to just stop by to remind us as we prepare for this holiday season. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of where you leave your important documents. Be aware of where you leave your phone. Be aware of who you are responding to. Just to give you a little heads up, there are so many hacking of phones going on at the moment. You may get a call or a text from someone who is very close to you asking for money. Before you hit that Zelle and send that money, make sure you call, and do not call from that same device that you got that text. Call and find out, is this legit? Because there are so many persons who have been a victim just a few weeks ago. And holiday is when a lot of people steal from others. So the holiday has its challenges. January is coming when tax season begins, that's another area that people need to be very careful, especially the elderly. You will get calls that IRS will garnish your pay. IRS will take all of your retirement if you don't send this money. Be aware that IRS will never call to ask you for money like that. So just a little awareness, make sure that you know who you're sending money. Make sure you do that call before you go on your account and do that Zelle. Be careful this holiday season. Be careful and look out, watch out for your elderly people. Help them to help themselves because they get scared once you hear IRS or once you hear uh they will talk so much, so many different things to the elderly and confuse them. So help your family, help the elderly so they don't become victims of these crazy people who try to steal the little they have. So as you prepare, as you enjoy the holiday season, I hope you are not alone. And if you're alone, make sure reach out to me so I can get you connected to a community, a group that you will also have a wonderful time with others, sharing in this season. And if there are no hands raised, let's Rosalind, do you want to say something? Okay. All right. So
Hi, good evening. Good evening.
good evening, Rosalind.
How are you,
Rosalind,
Mrs.
I am
Derrick?
doing one. I am
Yes.
doing wonderful.
All right. Good, good, good. I think I have to call Derrick concerning my other thing. I don't want to speak about it now, but I'll
Okay, no
call him.
problem.
So, but you will have to deal with me because it's you. All right? Yes, it's
No
just my phone
problem.
giving some problem. Right?
Okay. Grateful
Yes.
to have you. So you can
Yes.
call
Same here.
Derek after.
Yes. Yes. Okay then.
Wonderful,
All right.
wonderful,
Okay. Thanks. And I always enjoy the program.
wonderful. Thank you
Yes.
so much. I'm
You're
grateful that
welcome. Yes,
we're here for you.
yes, they had. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Bye bye.
So my YouTube viewers, all the different platforms and all that are on LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Mindset Monday. Until next week, looking forward to seeing you on another episode of Mindset Monday.